User experience is how a person interacts or engages with a product, a service, or their environment.
It's typically used in the tech world, referring to a digital product, but it doesn't have to be a digital product.
User's experience is a very subjective phenomenon. It's how I feel about using a certain product, how usable I find it, how accessible I find it. And likewise, if you were to be using that product, it all of a sudden becomes about your experience. User experience design then is not necessarily the act of designing an experience, but the conditions to create that experience for you or I.
It's really about creating a good experience for users. And it's more important today than ever with the increasing customer expectation and the really high bar that it sets in the product and services they interact with.
We think of those interactions, it's implicit as the why, the how and the what. So the why is in regards to the user's motivations, their beliefs, their attitudes, and unearthing those. The how is how that product works, what is its function. And the what is getting to aesthetics and accessibility. What does it look like? Does it create an element of joy for a user?
The goal of user experience design is to make sure that you are designing a product or service that actually addresses users' needs and solves their problems.
It's important to put yourself in the user's shoes and empathise with them, but not bringing your own personal opinion into the products and services that you're designing.
We as individuals project our thoughts, our beliefs, our attitudes onto the world around us, and we end up thinking, oh, everybody else thinks like I do. And that's not the case.
It's important to stop and reflect on, well, what are my assumptions that I'm bringing to this design, and why should I challenge my own assumptions? And one of the best ways to challenge your own assumptions is go out and talk to the people who you're actually designing for, because that's where you learn a lot about the context of the situation that they're in. So what they're looking at, what they're doing, you just can't know that without being there and experiencing it.
By interviewing and understanding what the behaviours and drivers of the users are, we get more intelligence and more intel out of it, which then enables the business to make better decisions about where we invest, which features, which products, which services are going to deliver the best value, not only for the business, but also for our users. You end up with a much better product that users are actually going to use more, which then means you get better return on investment.
You need to be able to bring the voice of the user or the audience into the design, as well as bring the voice of the business into the design, so that you have a purpose for the business to create this product and a purpose for the product to exist for a user.
User experience design sits within a broader spectrum of design disciplines and practices. Human-centered design, design thinking. These are probably more abstract design fields that can be applied in a lot of different contexts. As you come down from those fields into service design and customer experience design, you're starting to constrain a little bit the application of the principles and frameworks and tools of those disciplines. And then coming down again another level is user experience design and user interface design. And this is very much concerned with the actual interaction, so turning insight from previous design stages into something tangible that a user can interface with, touch, feel, experience.